Mama, Papa, Mommy, and Daddy. These are the first words that we learn to utter in this world. Toastmasters, my fellow youth leaders, guests, parents, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Now, who are the parents whom we call, who are the people whom we call parents? Some of you may answer that they are the people who gave you birth, or they are the reason why you're here in this world. Well, actually, that's right, at some point. Now let me tell you who our parents are. First, let me introduce or tell you something about my parents. My father is Consari Lumango and my mother is Anne Lumango. Now I know parents are often moody and grumpy, especially working ones. I tell you, my parents are often moody and grumpy. And I know that all of us experience being scolded by our parents, especially our mothers, being ordered to do this and do that, to clean this and clean that, and the most dreadful thing that parents often order us these days, turn the computer off and go to your room and study. Am I right? Yes. Now, if you try to look at it at a different perspective, you'll realize that our parents do those things to us for a reason. Example, lately these days, I go home late, about 6 o'clock in the evening. That's 2 hours late from the dismissal time in school. I go to my friend's house, and when I look at my phone, I get like 10 missed calls from my parents. Maybe 2 from my dad and 8 from my mom. And when I answer the phone, it feels like the whole world is shaking because of their loud voice telling me to go home. It gets into my nerves, and I know all of you experienced that as well. And when I realized that if I were in the place of my parents, won't I be concerned of where is my child? Why is she not at home? Where is she going? Why is she roaming around and not at home? Now, lately, I've noticed in myself that I kept on saying things to myself like, why do they keep on bossing me around? Why do they keep on scolding at me, telling me what to do? I have my own life to live. I have my own rights. And I realized that I should be ashamed of myself for thinking of those things, and I know most of you have said those things to yourselves as well. Why should we be mad at them? We don't have the right. They are our parents. First of all, they took care of us ever since we were in the wombs of our mothers until who we are today. They guided us to the straight path. From our first baby steps, to our first day in school, to our first day in high school, maybe in our first day in college, and until we have our own families and children. And most of all, they loved us from the start and the present, and I assure you that they will love us in the future. Now, while we are living under the same roof, why don't we enjoy each moment that we have with them? Embrace your parents. Show them how much you love them. Apologize for your mistakes. Say, I love you to them. Be thankful that you have parents because some orphans wish is only to be in the arms of their parents and just to embrace them. And here we are in Jeddah, living our life to the fullest, having parents who are professionals and letting us study in expensive schools. Why shouldn't we be thankful for that? And I assure you that if you go to the Philippines for college, you'll miss your parents a lot. As my sister said, my sister is in the Philippines by the way, that she misses the live voice of our mom and dad. The live voice, I mean the personal voice. She can't hear them anymore. No more scolding, no more telling her what to do. Now, I want to share some child. I myself have been not a rude child, but I become one sometimes. I bang doors, I answer them rudely, and I have something to admit. I never really said I love you to my parents before. And here I am on this stage talking about my parents because I am inspired of my parents. So right here, right now, I'm about to say that, Mommy, Daddy, I love you very much. And I've always wanted to say that, but I don't have the guts to say it to you. And I would like to say thank you for all the hardships and sacrifices that you've made for me and my siblings. And I would also like all of you to thank your parents. Treasure every moment that you have with your parents because you never know what you have until it's gone. I would like to say to my mother and father that no words can explain my gratitude right now, and I don't care about winning right now. I just want to express how I truly feel. And I leave this advice to you that what you have, you should treasure it right now because you don't know. If it's gone, you'll regret every moment that you missed. Toastmasters, my fellow youth leaders, guests,